and curriculum development. How can Nigeria's educational curriculum at all levels be redesigned to integrate democratic values such as civic responsibility, accountability, and respect for the rule of law?
Okay, that's a good one. If you observe that the current curriculum, even before the government has decided to redesign the curriculum and include subjects like journalism and some other things like that, you realize that the curriculum has some subjects like civic education, talk about government, talk about history and all of that. So in a way, the government has done that already. The curriculum has accommodated a number of subjects or courses that would help students or youth understand what it is about democracy, what it is about public ethics, what it is about elections, talk about fundamental human rights, talk about things they need to know how to compose themselves in the society and all of that. But the question is, even after integrating all of these things, are these things practicable? What are the things they see? What are the practicalities of all these things they would have been taught in theories? Yes, recently there's been a redesign of the curriculum, including courses here and there. But the point is how effective are these policies? How effective? What is the implementation plan? And how do they ensure that these things are evaluated? Even if students have learned about fundamental human rights, they've learned about election and all of that, do they see exactly what they have read in the society? So these are the issues. And it is also important for us that if we want to improve these students, even after redesigning the curriculum, it's about time we ensure that, okay, there's a partnership between the schools, the institutions at all levels with the private sector.
Okay, talking about partnership with your coordination now, I would like us to take this conversation to civic education for youth and, of course, democracy development. What strategy do you think can be employed to make civic and democratic education more practical and engaging for young Nigerians, especially at the secondary and tertiary levels?
At some point, at the tertiary level, you ask them to go for industrial training, you ask them to go for internships. Yeah. But the point is, when you've done this, how do you monitor them? How do you supervise them? How do you ensure that what they go there for is what they have learned, or they are even learning at all? So that's the problem. One of the major problems we have, especially in the education sector, is supervision, monitoring. Yes, some are, they're functioning, they're doing their jobs, but at the same time, we need to do more in that regard.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So in what way can partnership between National Assembly and educational institutions, in what way can it drive innovation to promote democratic learning across the country?
Okay, great. Let's quickly look at it in two ways. First, you look at what the media organizations are doing, especially the broadcast organizations, how they broadcast what is going on in the National Assemblies, the House of Reps. We get to see what is happening. Yes, this is an opportunity for youth to learn about democracy, about how bills are passed, about it goes into the second reading and all of that. But at the same time, what about those who are not, who do not have access to TV? That is through TV. If they're doing it through TV, what about those in the rural areas? How will they understand what is going on? Now, another opportunity, another strategy, so to speak, is using the internet. Now you realize that some youth are not even bothered about watching TV. Everybody is going on social media. So are we also using social? But at the same time, I see that, oh, thank God, the broadcast organizations are also on social media. So in a way, the youth can access that. But what is important to make all these things very effective is orientation. How do we let them know that it is important for them to participate, to engage, to be a part of it? Because these things are being done already. Yes, because when they are broadcast, when you see some national assemblies, sometimes, if I believe VOP is also doing that, to Let us know what is going on in certain House of Reps or National Assembly. When these are done, it helps to educate at the same time. But it's also important to orientate youths, to let them know why they need to learn from that. Another way is to ensure that while they are being taught all of these things, for the ones that have the opportunity to be in school, they could also find a time to let them go to the House of Assemblies, the House of Reps, and all of that to see how things are being done. And that is where the synergy comes in. If there is a synergy between these institutions and the assemblies, yes, youth students will get to learn how things are run, and that can help. But the problem here is, what about those that are not in school? They can, of course, bridge the gap between classroom and yes, it's what we've talked about before, and that's basically about ensuring that there is a stronger synergy between the schools and the industry through the organizations, and using mentorship, internship rather, industrial trainings and all of that can really help. Having partnerships with tech companies talking about if we want to develop them in the area of technology and digital-based skills. And the other question, if you remind me, please.
I was asking that what are the biggest challenges facing youth unemployment or facing youth empowerment in Nigeria?
Okay. Yes, we can't say that the government is not trying. The government is trying its best. At least most of the time we see headlines, 200, maybe 100 million youths to benefit from this, 700,000 youths to benefit from that, and all of that. But it takes us back to what we talked about earlier, that it's important to monitor all of these programs. Yes, we are going to invest in youth, we are going to do this. So who is responsible for what? Who is monitoring what? If we say 700,000 youth, if we say 200,000 youths, are they going to really benefit? These are the questions. What is the plan? What is the implementation plan? Will the implementation plan be followed through, so to speak? So it is quite important to still ensure that as much as we propose all of these things, we follow through. So following through can, of course, help them. Don't forget the fact that there are different skills youth are learning, even without the government telling them to do so. A number of youth are self-motivated and they are learning different skills. Coaches, different schools are coming up with different skills and all of that. But it's about time, just like they are proposed, they are a reaffirmed commitment to invest in the youth. It's about time to also expand the industry whereby youth can learn more skills. And of course, don't forget that they say an idle hand
is the devil's
workshop. So if they are not engaged, it's about time we engage. Look at what our social media is doing. A lot of youths, of course, they've decided to pick up one or two things. Even if they are not learning some skills, they've decided to dance on social media. And somehow you might say, oh, they are dancing. But I tell you, they are getting one or two things from there. But to compete globally, it's about time to learn skills that can make them stand peer-to-peer, okay, with other countries. Look at what first world countries are doing, China and all of that. Yes, we might say they are first world, but it doesn't mean we cannot get there. So it's about time we start doing the right thing now, ensuring that it is easy for every youth to learn these things. We can, of course, make provision and even make provision, just like what you read in the news just now, and make sure that it accommodates a good number of youths, millions of youths.
Talking about accommodating millions of youth, which you of course mentioned now, how important is mentorship in shaping successful youth careers? And you as an individual and as the lead instructor of the Precise Media Academy, have you in any way mentored people in your own way? Why do you think mentorship is important?
Okay, mentorship is about guidance. All right. So with that, I will quickly take you to what they do in schools, in different schools. By God's grace, I've been able to mentor a number of people, hundreds of participants who took part in my trainings and all of that. And of course, they are doing well. They've been able to create their own businesses, so to speak, in the media area. Now, going back to what happens in schools. Now, is it about what the salaries that are being paid? It's about time we also go into teachers training and strengthen teachers training. Okay, that would help a lot. It will help teachers to know that they are not just teachers, all right, at all levels. They are also mentors. Because after leaving home, after leaving their homes, the next place they go to is the schools. So they should see the teachers as mentors.
Right.
But what reports do we have about teachers that we have in schools, lecturers that we have in school? Are they ready to take on that responsibility as a mentor? Being a mentor to a large extent would help them get to their goals on time. And of course, that will affect us as a society positively.
Mentorship will affect us.
Is very fundamental to developing our
mentorship will affect us positively as a society. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Rotimi Akintunde, the lead instructor at the Precise Media Academy. Thank you so much for coming on Edu-Dialogue, and we look forward to having you some other time.
It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you.